Your child is struggling. You've been doing everything that you know to do. You've sat in waiting rooms. You've filled out what feels like a small novel worth of intake forms. You've ordered lab work. You've watched late night webinars on gut health, detoxes, primitive reflexes, supplements, special diets, and special protocols. Maybe you've tried new shoes, new routines, new behavior charts, and new doctors. And yet, your child is still anxious. They're still melting down, still not sleeping, still having trouble focusing, or just not feeling like themselves. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Most of what you've probably been offered so far looks at the chemistry of your child's body. So things like blood work and stool tests and hormones and vitamins and minerals. Now, those all can be really important, but very few people are actually looking at the master control system of the body, the nervous system that runs the whole show behind the scenes. That's where INSiGHT scans come in, and that's what I want to walk you through today. I'm going to explain what INSiGHT scans are, why they matter so much for kids who are struggling, how each type of scan works, and what they tell us about your child's brain and their body. So let's start with why we focus so much on the nervous system in the first place. Your child's brain and nervous system are the boss of the body. Every thought, movement, emotion, and behavior is processed and coordinated through that system. So if the nervous system is stuck in a fight or flight state, it doesn't matter how perfect your supplements are or how clean their diet is, their body still thinks it's in danger. That constant stress load shows up in real life as emotional outbursts, big meltdowns, anxiety, difficulty with focus and attention, maybe sleep struggles, sensory overload, gut issues, constipation, immune problems, and so many other challenges. A lot of parents come to us after they've already worked on all the outside pieces. So they are changing foods, they're adjusting schedules, modifying the school environment. And those are all valuable steps. But if the wiring between the brain and the body is overloaded or out of balance, the body can't fully benefit from all those other therapies. It's like trying to run brand new software on a computer that keeps freezing and crashing and full of programs running in the background. You don't just need more apps, you need to fix the operating system. So the real question becomes, is my child's nervous system stuck in stress mode? Is it balanced or is it imbalanced? Is it adapting well or is it burning out? You can't answer those questions with blood work alone. That is exactly why we use INSiGHT scans in our office. Our INSiGHT scans are a set of completely safe, non-invasive tests that measure how well your child's nervous system is functioning. There are no needles, there's no radiation, and no pain. Most kids think they're getting to use some cool gadget. We can scan babies, we can scan toddlers, older kids, teens, adults, and even pregnant mamas. Instead of guessing what's going on with your child's stress, energy, and nervous system, the scans actually give us a measurable, objective picture. So think of them as a snapshot of how your child's brain and body are communicating on the inside in real time. We use three main types of scans. So the first, rolling thermal, second, a surface EMG, and third, heart rate variability or HRV. Each one tells us something slightly different, and when we put them all together, we get a really complete picture of your child's nervous system. So let's start with the rolling thermal scan. This one looks at the autonomic nervous system. So that's the part of the nervous system that runs all of the automatic functions. So things like digestion, immune activity, heart rate, breathing, and hormone regulation. So for this scan, we use a small handheld device that gently glides up both sides of your child's spine. It's similar to a sensitive thermometer that we roll along the back. It never pokes or stings. It simply reads temperature changes on the skin. We can do this with babies while they're being held or lying on a parent, with toddlers turning into a little race car, and with older kids and adults in a standing or a seated position. The whole thing only takes a minute or two. What we are measuring with the rolling thermal scan is a temperature differences from side to side along the spine. Now that might sound simple, but it tells us a lot. The nerves that control organs and glands branch out from the neurospinal system. And when those nerves are stressed or they're irritated, the blood flow and the temperature in those areas change. So when the scan shows big hot spots or cool spots or patterns of imbalance, it tells us there is stress and irritation in the autonomic nervous system. In everyday language, this helps us answer questions like, is your child's gut getting mixed signals from the brain? Is the immune system under extra stress? Is the body stuck in go mode with very little time to rest and digest? For kids with digestive issues, constipation, tummy aches, allergies, chronic congestion, or immune challenges, the rolling thermal scan is incredibly important. It helps us see whether the nerves that control those organs are overworked and out of balance. Now, the second scan we use is called surface EMG. This scan looks at the energy and the tension in the postural muscles that support the neurospinal system. These are the muscles your child uses all day long to sit, to stand, balance, and move. For the SMG, we place small sensors gently on the skin along your child's spine. They work like little microphones for muscle activity. So they're picking up how hard those muscles are working. The sensors don't send anything into the body, so there are no shocks or zaps, and the scan is very comfortable. Your child just needs to sit or stand still for a few moments while the scan collects the data. Now, the SEMG shows us how efficiently your child's nervous system is communicating. This scan can show us certain areas that are overworking and over-signaling, constantly tight and tense, and other regions that look exhausted and are underactive. Sometimes the overall energy is extremely high, which we'd see in a child who is always wound up or wiggling or unable to relax. Other times the energy is very low, which can show us as fatigue, slouching, poor posture, or a child who just seems exhausted by basic tasks. In practical terms, this scan helps explain things like poor posture, trouble sitting still, clumsiness, coordination challenges, and nervous system regulation. For many of our sensory, ADHD, and anxious kiddos, the SEMG is a game changer because it reveals how much physical energy their body is burning just to get through a normal day. And then our third scan. This is heart rate variability, or HRV, and it looks at something a little different. How well your child's nervous system can adapt to stress and then recover. To run this scan, we place a small sensor on your child's finger or their ear, and then just have them sit quietly for a few minutes. The sensor records their heart rate pattern and their breathing rhythm. Again, this is a non-invasive and painless. Many younger children sit on a parent's lap while we do it. HRV doesn't only look at how fast the heart is beating, but it measures the tiny variations from one heartbeat to the next. In a healthy, adaptable nervous system, the heart rate has a beautiful, flexible rhythm. It can speed up when needed, like during excitement or activity, and then it can slow down when it's time to rest. When HRV is low or the pattern is out of balance, it tells us that the nervous system is having a hard time shifting gears. It might be stuck in stress mode, exhausted from long-term overload, or struggling to access that healing, rest, and digest state. Now, this is especially important for kids who don't sleep well, who are anxious or constantly on edge, who catch every little bug that goes around, or who never really seem to relax, even when they're lying on the couch. So HRV gives us a big picture view of their adaptability, how well their body can handle school, sports, changes in routine, big emotions, and just everyday life stress while still growing, learning, and healing. Now, each of these scans on its own is helpful, but the real power comes when we put them together. The rolling thermal shows us how stress is affecting the organs and the autonomic nervous system. And then the SEMG shows us how that stress is impacting the efficiency of the nervous system. HRV shows us how well the entire system is managing, adapting, and recovering from stress. Together, they tell us where the nervous system is stressed, how long it's likely been that way, and how that stress is affecting your child's sleep, their digestion, their focus, their mood, and just their overall development. From there, we can create a specific neurologically focused care plan that is based not just on symptoms, but on what your child's nervous system actually needs. We also repeat these scans at key points along the way, so you don't have to just hope things are working. You can literally see the nervous system move from stuck and overloaded toward calmer, more balanced, and more resilient over time. So if you're a parent who feels like you've tried it all, the labs, the diets, the detoxes, the supplements, and your child is still struggling, it may be time to stop guessing and finally look directly at the nervous system. INSiGHT scans give us that window. They help answer the question, why is my child struggling, and what can we actually do about it? If you're wondering whether these scans would be helpful for your child's specific challenges, the next step is simple. Just reach out to our office. You can schedule a consultation and bring your questions. We'll go through your child's complete story, explain the scan process, and if it's the right fit, we'll use INSiGHT scans to get a clear picture of what their nervous system is going through and how we can help them move from survival mode into a place where they can truly heal, grow, and thrive.